there are over 1,600 chicken breeds out there, and there can only be one greatest chicken breed out there. In today's video, I'm going to go over a couple of them and which one I think is the greatest. Be sure to comment down below which one you think is the greatest. Also, PSA, if we reach 4K before August, I will literally be doing a live stream every single day that month, so let's see what happens. Now, truthfully, there are many great chicken breeds to start out with. Our first one on this list, but I personally think the first one I'm going to start out with today is going to be the Barred Rock chicken, which you guys might know for chickens with black and white stripes. And I'm going to be honest with you, they are pretty good. They lay, I'd say, around 260 to 280 eggs per year, which is optimal for those that just want to have a casual farmstead, and even those that want to get a little bit more into the more business aspect of it. Which, personally, from my experience, I think they're pretty good for both of them. Like, right on the middle, there's a little line. I'd say they fall right there. And in my opinion, Barred Rocks are one of the greatest chicken breeds out there. They're pretty friendly, they're chill with you. The only issues I've had with these chickens is, for one, they seem to be really unfriendly around roosters, which is a lot of chickens actually, a lot more than you expect. But these ones are in particular. And we used to have dozens of these guys here, but nowadays we only have one. So Chicken Summer, and she was our first Barred Rock. And you want to know why? Because they seem to have a magnet installed into them that kind of just naturally attracts predators their direction. And to be honest with you, it's really annoying, because you can walk in that chicken coop at night and you're like, yep, we're down one more Barred Rock, it looks like, tonight. And I remember that day we lost our last Barred Rock in the farm flock. I don't know if I'll ever be buying these guys again, but truthfully, they're a really great way to start out. So that's why they earn themselves a way onto this list. I think, truthfully, we also need chickens to have a lot more versatility with them, which is why I'm going to bring Easter eggers into our second spot on this list. And you want to know something? I've lived with Easter eggers for pretty much my entire career on this farm. And I've never once had an Easter egger that wasn't a miss. All of these Easter eggers lay generally a different amount of eggs per year. Some Easter eggers only lay 150, while others could lay up to 320. And if I'm going to keep it 100 with you, an Easter egger isn't even a breed of chicken. It's just kind of like a variety of different chicken breeds. It's kind of like given one name. You have some of them that are like olive eggers and other similar things, and it all depends on which breed of chicken, the original Americano chicken, which is the first chicken that your Easter egger starts out with, breeds with. So they're pretty profitable, and if you're wondering, they lay a variety of different color of eggs. They're most popular for their blue and green eggs, which is why they're called Easter eggers, because when you go out to that chicken coop in the morning and it's Easter soon, you'll have some nice Easter eggs to put into your little basket. So truthfully, I'm gonna give them some respect. There's tons of varieties and tons of other things like green queens and of course olive eggers, which I have both of them. Personally, the 2021 green queens were the biggest misses for me, but the 2023 green queens were perfect. And I actually have been around an Easter egger and a green queen rooster, and I can confirm Easter egger roosters are way better than green queen roosters, because this is my green queen rooster right here, and he is probably just trying to get himself onto a plate. I have no clue why, but he's really annoying. And what would this video be without mentioning some of the greatest chicken breeds? Some might even call them the pinnacle of chickens, and they are called the Rhode Island Reds. And if I'm being honest with you, Rhode Island Reds are flighty, but at the same time, they're iconic, which is why they have to find themselves on a list like these, because if not, there would be probably hundreds, if not even thousands of comments on this video asking where these chickens are, because they're so iconic and people know them. Sometimes, if you ask someone about chickens, they're gonna bring up the Rhode Island Red. You don't even have to be a chicken enthusiast to know these guys exist. They're chill, they're cool. I'm not probably gonna get some of them until maybe a couple years down the road, but at the time being, I'd say I could put them on a list of chickens I'd possibly buy in the future. The one issue I have with them, though, is that, like, the only issue I really have with these chickens is the fact that they're flighty, and their roosters have gained a reputation of just being notoriously mean to humans. But if I'm being honest with you, there are way worse roosters out there. Like, yeah, they hurt, but have you met green queen roosters from the year 2021? They're even worse. And I mean, I gotta cut them some slack because green queens were introduced in 2020, but at the same time, man, is really that hard? So yeah, these chickens had to have found themselves on this list somewhere. And I gotta give a hands down to any sex-linked variety of chicken. There are so many different breeds, like ISA Browns. I gotta cover them in this video, man. I have a couple of them. And I can tell you one thing, I really want to get some more ISA Browns, but every time I go down to the hatcheries, they're always out of stock because they're pretty popular in the Northeast, at least. Maybe elsewhere, but I'm not trying to get my chickens shipped from like all the way down there. I want them shipped a little bit more locally. So it's really simple. And the sex-linked chickens are very friendly. I have ISA Browns, Black Stars, Cinnamon Queens are my personal favorite. Some of them seem to have more predation issues than others, and there is one reason why I recommend these to everyone who wants to get their first batch of chickens, and that is really simple. You want to know why? Because those chickens, when you first buy them, they automatically know if they're a hen or a rooster. So the hens will have a separate feather palette than the roosters, so you'll be able to tell them apart really easily from the time they're born. So the roosters will look like this, and the hens will look like this, and so on and so forth. It's really, really useful, and I'm super glad we have these chickens around, because imagine where I'd be if we didn't have those around in the farm flock. I'd say about 45 to 50% of those chickens in that flock are completely made up of those chickens. So to be honest with you, where would I be without them? I have no clue. And now the moment you all came here for, all probably 41 of you guys, and that is the #1 spot. I've got to hand it down to the Leghorn chicken, the white Leghorn in specific. And personally, I don't own any of these, but I plan on owning them in the future for one specific reason: their egg color. The color white has a lot of variety with it. The egg color white in specific, it's really nice because you can use it for a lot of different reasons. In specific, the Easter eggs. I mean, you do have the Easter eggers, but Leghorns are a variety of like really friendly chickens, and also laying you some pretty good eggs. I've heard nothing but positive things about these. A lot of people try to downplay these as negatives, but I'd say they're a whole lot better than Rhode Island Reds, in my opinion. Be sure to comment down below what your list is. And y'all want to know something? If you live right now in the suburbs and you want to get yourself some chickens, or just want to know what's like there, I have just the video for you right now. And if you're not interested in that, I have some chicken videos just for you on the other side of the screen. And I recommend you go watch it because there's some high quality stuff in there, and I'll see you there.